welcome back to the GSL.
You know, kind of interesting. Moon just mentioned he didn't play StarCraft 1, but
I saw that.
I very specifically remember there being a little news about him practicing with the We Made B team and doing a fine job.
So,
you know,
it's weird there's like misinformation out there. We're sorry for.
I'm pretty sure there was a news like that, but anyways,
It's kind of weird. No,
doesn't matter. He's still an amazing RTS player.
Yeah, very talented.
No Korean hasn't played StarCraft 1, so he's played at least a little. He's a liar. He's a lying. All right, let's talk about IdrA.
Let's do that.
We love him.
EG IdrA.
We love him. You hate him. Whatever.
Did you guys remember that I'm also on Team EG? Have I plugged that enough?
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
StarCraft
Sorry.
Division Manager, yeah.
Huh.
IdrA has been training very hard for this match.
Yes, he
IdrA's
has.
a guy who basically feels like he can beat anybody. I do believe he is one of the best Zergs.
Yeah.
That there is, period.
Yeah, no. All the top Korean players pretty much do say that. I mean, they say in interviews if you ask him. I mean, he's a great Zerg player. Not as far ahead of everyone as he was a little bit back. You know, he used to seem like this unbeatable force.
Yeah, people are catching up.
Yeah, and now everyone's like really good. And, well, IdrA still is doing really quite well. He did round of 32 first season, round of 16 second. That means a round of 8 this season, Tasteless, if I know anything about patterns.
If I know my numbers well enough.
Yeah.
If I know my GSL brackets well enough.
Yeah. He practiced a lot for this match. He practiced some with Huck.
Yep.
Practiced a lot with In Control when In Control was over my house.
In Control, a very good PvZ player.
In Control, in my opinion, one of the best Protoss versus Zerg players in the entire world.
Yeah, he's a solid player.
He was on several IDs manhandling the top Korean Zerg. So IdrA got some really good practice against him.
Yeah.
Learned a lot about the matchup. We're going to have to see, though. It's the hardest matchup for him. I think every Zerg is pretty much saying that nowadays. They're like, oh, man, PvZ is hard right now.
Yeah, occasionally we have players saying that their ZDZ is tough because they're having a hard time figuring it out.
Yeah, that's a weird matchup.
Yeah, it's a weird matchup. But this one, as far as, like, I know it, I get it, but it's still damn hard for me. You know?
It's a hard matchup to play. But, you know, if we take a look at IdrA, he is calm, cool, collected, handsome as a devil.
Charming. Look at that pepper chin of his.
I know.
He is just
the butt chin.
He's got the handsome butt chin.
He does.
And he is really ready.
I like his eyebrows.
For this.
Okay, and here is the enemy, public enemy number 1 for IdrA. Next, Choa. And he's a good Protoss player. No doubt about it. Next has great Protoss players.
Right.
They have raised quite a few after their original Next Genius.
Yeah. Choa, a very good player.
Choa.
Very talented.
Doesn't that mean cold in Korean?
Chua?
Oh, this is Chua. Let's call him next Chua.
He loves using Dark Templars. And, yeah.
IdrA's a Terran player from StarCraft 1. He has a natural hatred for Dark
He's already been scarred enough. Years of therapy, still hasn't recovered. You know, it's funny, IdrA, a lot of people think IdrA's like a pretty bad mannered guy, but if you actually meet this guy in person, which most of you never will, he's actually a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't say GG all the time because he's mad when he loses, but he's a nice guy.
Who does say GG all the Oh, wait, you do.
I do.
What
all
a
the time.
loser.
I like 4-pulled and stuff. I'm like, oh, I lost GG. And then Dan's behind me. He's like, what are you doing? You don't say GG if you get 4-pulled. Are you crazy? Like, he's like smacking me up the back of the head. Here are the maps. Shakura's Plateau, Steppes of War, and Jungle Basin.
Yeah. Now, IdrA has to win Shakura's Plateau. That is the one map that Zerg is okay on against Protoss. It's a good map for Zerg. You know, it's very far away. Steppes of War and Jungle Basin, though, these maps are hell on earth for ZVP.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see, man.
Yeah,
will IdrA's practice pay off?
It's too bad we were hoping to get 2 EGs in here. In Control, 1 game away. But it's all up to IdrA now. Okay. IdrA. Up here at the top, remember the team Evil Geniuses.
EG IdrA.
Actually, lots of Koreans showed up here to watch IdrA play. Down here at the bottom, same team as the Next Genius, a very skilled Protoss player.
Next Choa.
IdrA, things are starting to go much more his way. I think we're going to see him kind of revitalize after disappointing MLG and not getting quite as far in GSL yet as he's wanted to. As more and more non-Koreans come to Korea, he's getting more and better practice in practice games. And as a lot of Zerg players are over here now, myself, Rhett, HeyPro, he gets to talk about Zerg strategy a lot more, which helps very, very much. You need to discuss the game.
Yeah, one of IdrA's initial problems is he was good, but he was good just playing by himself.
Yeah.
And, if you're going to get good at StarCraft 2, you don't just sit around all day and play and, not ask other people questions. You actually have training partners. You go over build orders. You spend long nights out in a bar with your StarCraft buddy trying to, figure out how this race works, talking about it. You wake up in the morning and have coffee with that buddy again, go over your strategies. You have to talk about it a lot. Talking is a big part of it. It's not just practice.
That is correct. We see right now, coming from a Protoss player, Choa, he's doing a build right now similar to Guinea Pig, a very late forge, and chrono boosting out quite a few probes so far. Now IdrA pooling first because he doesn't like to gamble with hat-trick first because he's not technically Korean.
Take a look at this, though. Double pylon on the low ground.
My. It's a strong move. Can slow down IdrA's economy greatly.
Now, what would IdrA want to do in this situation since you're an early pool guy?
Well, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. I personally would have had 3 drones down there hitting a pylon because you kill it before the cannon does get up. But he's just going to let it finish. He may go over there and bust it with banelings, he may bust it with roaches, or he may do a spine crawler. It's really up to him, but being cannon in like this, don't listen to anyone who says it doesn't get you behind, because it does, as long as the Protoss follows it up right.
Of course it gets you behind,
yeah. It's just, it slows down your expansion greatly. You have to put a lot of money into attacking units to actually take it out.
Well, this is the thing I was talking about with that kind of Muay Thai clinch pose in StarCraft, is suddenly the Zerg has to deal, has to play on your terms.
Yeah.
You have to get out of this clinch in order to then be free and fight how you want to fight normally.
That's right. Now, IdrA is making the Roach Warren, is making a Roach. So the Roach probably going to go ahead and take out one of the pylons on the side. Oh, actually, Choa's pylon placement is quite interesting. Huh. So there's actually a little tiny hole there. Interesting. That was, I guess, so the probe could actually get up there. And he does see that it is, in fact, roaches that IdrA is making. And I'm getting a little bit scared about our little buddy Tasteless, because next Choa has a gateway going up. He has his Nexus almost finished.
Yeah.
Teching up and expanding at the same time while IdrA's kind of trapped in his base. And he's going to go ahead and kill off this cannon. Might lose a roach. Nope, barely not.
Barely not.
Excuse me. And now next Choa is going to want to make several cannons, at least 3, to make sure that IdrA cannot just come over here and kill him. Now IdrA going to go ahead and expand. So, the problem with this is he's starting his hatchery as the Nexus is already finished for next Choa.
And this is going to be double chrono boosts here. We can crank out a ton of probes.
Yeah. Now, IdrA going to try to get a little bit aggressive with the roaches, force as many cannons as is possible.
By the way, guys, be sure to send in questions
for both of these players. No idea who's going to win. Very nice right there.
Oh, nice positioning here.
Sniping off some photon cannons, and that's going to allow him to get the gateway as well, I believe. And look at that.
Choa is just actually making cannons that these roaches can hit. Can this roach here actually reach that? Yeah, okay, it can.
Indeed it can. And IdrA has got to be feeling pretty good. Well, not really pretty good. He is behind, but this is the beginnings of coming back right here. You kill that gateway.
You can actually go around. He's going to go around.
And the probe's coming up right now. This other cannon warping in. IdrA probably should target it, but I think he just wants to run by. And he does kill it. All right, next Choa, you're in trouble.
Well, it depends, actually. Oh, he does get up there.
Yep.
Damn, IdrA. That was actually pretty impressive.
There is no gateway right now for next Choa.
Oh my god, yes. You're absolutely right. That was the only gateway. We can actually get this Nexus and technically just go up into the main.
So I would go ahead and say IdrA's way ahead at this point. Like, he just totally killed Next Choa. Next Choa got so greedy trying to make all that stuff before making the 3 cannons. I told you, Tasteless, when you make 3 cannons against that, it's a wide choke. IdrA had an Overlord over there to spot. And it looks like, IdrA getting the lair. And back home making even more cannons cancel. GG.
GG. Whoa.
IdrA.
That was
Raffle
actually quite a
stomps.
comeback.
You know, it's always scary when you get cannon blocked in like that. But
I actually thought he was screwed when the cannons got up at the expansion. I think Next Choa has got to be a little bit in shock.
Let's imagine a world where he delays getting all that gas in a Cybernetics core and instead actually just makes 3 cannons. Let's imagine a world where that happens. IdrA is so far behind, ridiculously far behind. But instead, he got so greedy. There's no excuse for that. Next Choa got punished for being a greedy Protoss.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. You know, if he had done anything differently, IdrA might not have been able to capitalize on that mistake. But IdrA, damn, he did a really good job. I'm really impressed with him. I'm really relieved because he's on my team. He's my nerd.
I'm really relieved because he's my non-blood son.
I know.
I know, man.
We raised him actually out here. It was the 3 of us in Korea long ago.
It was.
So IdrA did a really good job because he needed to get a win on that map. The other 2 maps don't help Zerg out that much. A lot of that had to do with the positioning of the cannons. Had the Protoss paid better attention to where he was positioning his stuff, that game could have looked pretty different.
Yeah.
But
if you had the cannons warped in, it would have been a completely different game.
Yeah, no kidding. The countdown started. Let's see if this next game is one that IdrA can win again. Otherwise, Choa wins. We're going to go into game number 3. So let's do it.